Welcome to the Heart-Led Business Show, where compassion meets commerce and leaders lead with love. Join your host, Tom Jacobs, as he delves into the insightful conversations with visionary business leaders who defy the status quo, putting humanity first and profit second. From heartfelt strategies to inspiring stories, this podcast is your compass in the world of conscious capitalism. So buckle up and let your heart guide your business journey.
Welcome back, Heart-Led Heroes, to another riveting episode of the Heart-Led Business Show. Today, we're diving into the dynamic world of entrepreneurship with none other than Barton Henderson. As the founder of Henderson Promos, ranked among the fastest growing firms, Bart's passion for impact shines brighter than a lighthouse in a storm. And together, we'll explore his journey of blending business brilliance with a big-hearted mission. So grab your favorite cup of ambition and let's embark on this enlightening adventure. Bart, welcome to the show.
Nice to be with you. Nice to be with someone who shares a lot of the same values in business as me.
Thank you for that. And of course, I'm really excited to dive in because you have quite an interesting background, and I think the audience is going to really enjoy your story and kind of the different businesses that you've had over the years. I'm really excited for that. But first, I always like to ask, what's your definition of a heart-led business?
Cutting right to the chase. I like it. Getting right into it. So my definition of a heart-led business is a business that treats business personally. And what I mean by that is I can remember even from a young age, people saying the phrase business is business, right? And it always bothered me. And I didn't know why, like at a young age, why I didn't like that phrase. And as I got older, I heard it more and more. And almost to the point where I actually heard people justify things that I would consider not morally sound decisions by saying business is business. And so to me, a heart-led business is led by a business that treats people personally. Like business is personal. Business is not business. I really, truly believe that. And some of the ways that you could look at it from a very straightforward standpoint is if somebody comes and says something about your business, oh, this business, they never get back to me, or this business, they have a horrible service. Do you just go, hey, business is business. They just said it. It doesn't matter. You go, no, that's personal. That's like an attack on me, right? And so business isn't business. Business is personal. So I really think a heart-led business will lead in a personal way. And what does that mean? That means you've earned your trust. And so you need to be a steward of that trust. You need to work with integrity. And so anytime I hear someone say business is business, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. So I really believe a heart-led business is a business that treats people personally.
Yeah. And what a great reframe that is in terms of just, yeah. And when we had our first pre-interview, you had mentioned that as well. I've been thinking about that since we spoke. And I was like, do I ever say that?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I think I have. And now I feel bad because But you're absolutely right. Yeah. Business is personal and it should be. And people use that. It's just business. Yeah. Screwed over my friend. But you know what? It's just business.
That's it. I can remember, Tom, the exact moment when I was like, that is not a good phrase. So I know when I was younger, I didn't like it, but I was doing a deal. It must have been right during the beginning of COVID. And the price didn't work, and we had already locked in a price with somebody else. And the person who was in the deal with me said, we found a better price. Business is business. We're not going to be able to go with them. And I just said, whoa, man. So you're just saying just because there's a better price, you're going to try to screw over this third party? Absolutely not. That is not what's going to go down. Business is not business. Business is personal. And that's when I said, you know what? It really has to be a separation of mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your business and what makes it heart-led.
I guess a couple things. So one, my promo business is what gave my wife and I the opportunity to do a lot of different things. And we grew that company from the community, like really from the community up. When we started out in business, I was going to 10 networking events a week, 10 a week. I'm talking breakfasts, lunches, dinners. I don't know many people who go to that many networking events. And now with 2 kids, now another one on the way, I don't do 10 events a week. I do 1, maybe 2. But we grew it up from the community. Yeah. And so we grew it up from the community. And probably maybe 5 years in, we found that we had over 80 nonprofits a year that we were working with. And so we were like, all right, great. How do we really help the nonprofit community and start to interact more with one another? We started giving nonprofit discounts, and we give back, and we volunteer. We do all sorts of fun things. And it just framed the way I was brought up in business, in that it's a community thing rather than just trying to make profit. So in Monmouth County, the area in New Jersey I'm from, it is one of the most nonprofit friendly places in the US. Businesses work directly with nonprofits and vice versa, whether it's helping each other fundraise or events or anything. Now, this happens all over the US, of course, but really there's a special community here in Monmouth County where the business community is totally intertwined with the nonprofit community. What really got me more into my passion of a heart-led business would be my men's community, which is Agora Guild. And what happened was, a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I got the idea in my head that I really just wanted to surround myself with men who were going to push me, that were going to make me be the best version of myself. So I called five people I know, right? They weren't even all friends at the time, just 5 kind of acquaintances, people who I thought, 1 or 2 of them were good friends, but people who I thought were going to push me, not just the people that were immediately around me. And so we started getting together. We met in one of my conference rooms over here every single week. And we just started pushing each other in different areas of life: family, faith, fitness, finance, things like that. And the things that came out of that is what really led me to go towards the heart-led business. And so we had one guy started talking to siblings he hadn't talked to in 2 or 3 years. Another guy lost 35 pounds. One man literally tripled his business. One person says that he saved his marriage as a result of this. And so it was just like, wow, there are big things happening because we have a curated group of men who are keeping each other accountable and pushing each other to be better. And so one of the guys said, you really got to grow this. I said, well, this is like the last thing I need. It's just like something to help us. He said, why don't you try it? Why don't you try? And so he pushed me to do it, and we grew. We went to another group and another group. And so we opened it up to the public about a year ago. And now we went from the first 6 of us to about 70 guys in the last year. And talk about heart-led. Like, it was literally heart-led, because when a guy in the group would tell me, hey, I lost 25 pounds, or one guy's now lost 70 pounds in our group. Or when someone would say, hey, I have a better relationship now, or a better relationship with my kids or with my wife or whatever, that just jazzed me up. I got really excited. And it's about as heart-led business as I can think about, because we're not measuring in dollars. Like, we don't measure in dollars at all. We measure in wins and achievements for the people. So it's just been a really great adventure.
That's awesome. And yeah, absolutely. When you're in a service type business and you see those transformations that people have, it is really amazing. It just keeps you going. It's so great to see.
Yeah, you can't put a dollar amount on it. Like, at one point I started thinking, that person lost 25 pounds. How is their cardiovascular health going to be affected? How many more years are they going to be around for their kids? How many more Christmases are there going to be, or Hanukkahs, or whatever? The point is, how far does this go? And so that kind of different quantifying of things just really opened my mind to movement moving forward.
Yeah. And it's not just the number of more years, it's also the quality of those years as well, which you really can't put a price on either. Yeah. So is this another business of yours?
Yeah, so it's turned into a business now. Yeah, so Agora Guild is a business, and it's really where we're putting a lot of focus, because it's what I love to do. I love seeing these transformations. And yeah, it's a men's network. It's a membership network. We have about 70 guys now, and we're rapidly growing. We're taking on new members, taking on new team members too, who are actually helping to grow the mission. And it's just really cool to see once you surround yourself with people that have different expectations where you can actually go in life.
Yeah. Now, how does it correlate with your other business, the promos business,
Mhm.
in terms of just the philosophy and the way that you approach business in general?
I think community would probably be the best answer for that. And so it correlates because it's like anything. It's if you create a good community, good things will happen, right? If you surround yourself with the right people, surround yourself with the right clients, things of that nature, good things happen. I like to use an example of a lazy river versus a raging river. What I mean by that is so many of us have friends who are just friends because of proximity, right? So maybe you grew up next door to them, or maybe you were college roommates with them or whatever, but literally because of physical proximity, that person's your friend, right?
Yep.
And that can really have to do with wherever you grew up or wherever you are now or whatever it might be. And so I started thinking, like, what if we curated our friends and actually went out and got friends that were more in line with us? And so it's like, a lot of people are living in like a lazy river, if you will. And so lazy river is good.
Mhm.
Lazy river is a good place to be. You have a beer, you're on a raft, whatever. You're going around that river, and if you miss a workout, nobody cares. If you're not eating well, nobody cares. And so it's fine. It's a fine place to be in that lazy river until you realize there's another river out there. Like there's a raging river, and in that raging river, there's a boat of men and they're all rowing like to survive. And if you don't row, then you get thrown out of that raft. And so essentially in that lazy river, you miss a workout, nobody cares. But now you're in this like raging river and you meet a guy who owns 5 businesses who's working out twice a day. And you're like, wait a second. He owns 5 businesses, he's working out twice a day. And I have all these excuses not to work out once a day. What do I have to do to elevate?
Yeah, and that's a great testament to who was it, Jim Rohn, who said you're the average of the 5 people closest to you.
Absolutely.
If that is who actually said that first. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. And I recently joined a very curated adventure group as well, or just entrepreneur group.
Yep.
And I was at the first meeting and I was like in awe with all these other people. And I was like, I am not worthy of being here. I am totally in the right room.
That's right.
Because you get used to, as an entrepreneur, and you have your business, your employees, and the people that you're working with, you're used to being top dog. And if you're not challenging yourself with the people that are around you, then you just go down that lazy river, as you say.
Totally,
Yeah.
Tom. I love it. That's the right room to be in. If you feel like it's not the right one and you got to
Yeah.
rise to the occasion, that's awesome. That's a great feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I forgot what that was like because I haven't joined one in a long time.
Yep.
So that, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
Sounds like a
great,
good
great
group.
reminder.
Sounds like a good place to be. Yeah. We have guys all the time who will say, I almost didn't join the group because I didn't think that I was qualified or something like that. And the thing that I
Mhm.
say is like everybody has specific things they're good at. And there's different ways that different people can help one another. So the guy who just sold his company for 20 million, he might be out of shape. And then the young guy just starting out, he might be going to the gym 5 days a week. So they can connect and help each other somewhere. Or maybe someone's got a really great relationship and they can teach you how to be a better husband, whereas you can teach them about nutrition, whatever it might be. But I think the feeling you got, hey, I'm in the right room because of that, is awesome. But a lot of people get the opposite and they go, ooh, maybe I shouldn't be in this room. Let me go the other way.
Exactly. That's the key to growth, is to challenge yourself. And by being in those different rooms that are going to challenge you, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit, Bart, and talk about everybody's favorite topic, money, and how you make profit and be okay with making a profit with a heart-led business. How have you reconciled, this is a heart-led, it's all about passion, but I got bills to pay?
Yeah, great question. A couple things. So one thing that I realized early on, interestingly, is that without some skin in the game, there's no buy-in almost, right? So when we started out our group, the 5 or 6 of us or whatever, it was free and it was good, worked well. But then the guys are like, we got to amp this up a bit. And the group is the one themselves who came up with the idea of, we got to pay for this. I was like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. And what we find is that by having some kind of monetary buy-in, it keeps people more accountable. It keeps people like they want to log in for those weekly meetings and make sure that they're getting their value out of it, essentially. There's that piece of accountability, which is a big piece of it. And then it allows you to grow, like to grow the mission. A lot of the guys in the group, the one common denominator is that we're open-minded, right? And so in regards to open-minded, there's all sorts of different mentalities, strategies, places we want to go. But in general, we all believe that there should be a healthier world. It should be a more open-minded. And the ability to then take those dollars and grow the group and grow people who want to support more organically grown food, healthier, fitness, helping people grow their business. When you make more money, you can then grow the mission and then further grow the entire movement, essentially.
Yeah. I think a lot of heart-led business owners forget that.
Yeah.
When they start their business and things, they're like, oh, I can't really charge people for this, or they make all the excuses in the world. But then at the end of the day, if they're not making a profit, they're not enjoying the work, they're struggling, and they're not able to show up fully for their clients or their family, and they're not able to sustain that for very long before they have to shut it down, and then nobody gets help.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's a good point, because eventually you'll hit a tipping point where it's like, oh, I really got to work on this. But I do have to make money. And you're like, can I really go over here and work on this? Or do I have to go do the other thing that makes money? If you can make it one and the same, then you can give it a whole lot more time and attention.
That actually came up on the last interview that I had as well, is that when you are working towards a goal, if it is part of your purpose and your passion, when you have those hard times, you're gonna go through it. But if you're only just chasing the dollars and it's something that's trending right now, and it's, oh yeah, I'm gonna get on drop shipping because there's no purpose behind it. But I saw all these other people making tons of money on drop shipping. I was like, oh, I got to get on that. And it was a disaster because things got difficult, and I was like, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
because there's no.
That's it. No passion. No passion behind it. One thing that when I looked back in retrospect a little bit, that was different about my path when I was in law school or after law school or anything of that nature was I've always, and I don't know how or why exactly, but I've always chased freedom over money, meaning it's more important to me that on a Wednesday I can go to the park with my kids, or that on a Thursday I can go do something with my wife, than it is to make more dollars. Like, freedom was always a really critical thing for me. And I find if you chase things like passion or freedom, that everything else will fall in line. So freedom's what I particularly was chasing early on. And I think that just became my North Star.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the same time, I want to create some reality in here as well. It's not like you just have your passion and money. You also need to have some business acumen or find a mentor, find the books, do what you need to do to learn about business if you're serious about helping people in your purpose.
Key word you said there is do, right? Do what you need to do. And that can't be more key. So many men, so many people in general will start a business and wonder why no one's walking through the door. We actually had a session this morning. It was our weekly Agora Guild meeting. 7 a.m. every Thursday is when we do it. And we had two members walk through what lead systems look like. And so they were talking about, I do 150 calls a week. I set 15 meetings a week. This is what you need to do to start getting business through the door. And the reason I bring that up is, to your exact point, if you're talking to one person or two people or three people a week, no matter how passionate you are, it's not going to be sustainable.
It's not going to move the needle unless they're like super wealthy. But even then, you need to do your prospecting. You need to talk to more people.
Yeah.
And we laughed at the top of the show where, 10 networking events a week. is a little overkill.
Yeah.
But it got you to where you are today because you made all those connections and you were able to build a couple businesses around those connections.
That's the first thing that I like to say to every new business owner, which is if you're not getting out there and networking, there's no number of dollars you can throw at marketing on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. But look, you'll make the mistake. Everyone does. Throw the dollars out there, waste them. If you're not belly to belly networking with people, you're not doing the right thing to start to get leads in the door.
Yeah. And then a lot of people misunderstand what that networking is all about.
Mhm.
Even the show isn't really about network, but what have you found to be the most effective way of connecting with people at a networking event? Because for me personally, before, if I ever heard 10 years ago networking event, I'd be like, no, I'm introverted. I'm not going to go.
Yep.
But I did it for 5 years, every Wednesday morning at 7:00.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
Really built the business.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what would you tell somebody that doesn't want to do networking?
Well, I think to your point, it's everyone thinks of the most cringy thing, which I still see from time to time. And the most cringy thing is, and it happens all the time, is you get to an event and someone says, "Hi, this is my name," and they hand you a business card. Boom. And you go, "Oh, that is not how you want to connect with somebody. What am I going to do with this business card? Like, why? I don't even know what you do." And so literally people, "Hi, this is my name," and they hand you a business card. So the first thing that I do, which is out of the ordinary, is everybody in a networking event will go, "Oh, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do?" So I like to suggest to people who haven't been to networking too much or are not comfortable, come up with a unique question. So I always like to hear, "What do you do for fun?" I like to ask people, "What do you do for fun?" And if I just hit someone in the face, I'd be like, "Wait, fun? What? I don't know what I do for fun." So they'll usually answer with whatever they do for work. I'll be like, "No, I asked you what you did for fun. I didn't say what do you do for work." And if it's one and the same, great. But yeah, exactly. So that, and then the real key to making it work though, and I'm sure you've heard this many times, but I really do mean this. Of all the people I know who are very successful in business and very successful networkers, it's giving first. So give. So there's this, you've heard of karma before, right? There's a whole population of people in the United States. I don't know how many people, but let's say a large percentage of people who don't believe in karma, right? They go, karma's this fake amorphous thing. Karma is 100% real, unequivocally, scientifically, if you ask me. And what I mean by that is if I go to a networking event and I meet 20 people and I give those 20 people a lead, I literally say, "Hey, great to meet you. Janine, this is my friend John. You guys might be able to work together." Boom. So if I do that 20 times, don't you think that one of those 20 people or a percentage of those 20 people are going to want to give a lead back? It's human nature. 100%. And so when people tell me, "Oh, I don't believe in karma," you're not, open your eyes. Like it's human nature. Karma is human nature. And so if you give, people want to give back, right?
Yeah, the law of reciprocity is it's so key. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, love the question, love the giving. And the question I think is really key because that's it's kind of the pattern interrupt, right? So I used to say, "Tell me about your last vacation."
I love it.
Where'd you go?
Love it.
That's something personal that you want. What do you do for fun? Where is your last vacation? It's all non-work related and gets people to go, "Oh, good question."
That's great.
Stop, and they will remember you as well as the guy with a weird question.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's even better.
I like that. Where was your last vacation? Very good. Yeah.
Awesome. Bart, this has been just fantastic conversation. And I know our listeners are loving this. But unfortunately, our time has come to that point. But tell us, how can we learn more about your businesses and get in touch with you?
Cool. So regarding getting in touch, you can check me out on Instagram. It's Bart Henderson ESQ. That's BART Henderson HENDERSON ESQ. You can check out our Instagram page for Agora Guild, which has some great motivational quotes and videos and things like that. So that's just at Agora Guild, AGORA GUILD. And you can go to agoraguild.com If you have any interest, we do a free 30-day trial. It's a two-way trial because we want to curate the group. The free 30-day trial is to see if the group's a good fit for you and if you're a good fit for the group, essentially. So always looking to continue to build. We have men all over the world. We have some in India and Spain and all over the US and Hawaii and things like that. So you can participate from anywhere. And then as far as Henderson promos, we build company stores. I think you saw one probably, which is custom built, individual one-off promos. So if you need a logo on something, we can go ahead and put your logo on a full company store. You have 300 options and you can buy just one at a time. You don't have to buy 25 or 50 or 100 or whatever it is.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, your team did a fantastic job setting that up for us.
Thank you.
I actually have a couple logos out there. So that's great. It was so easy.
Yeah.
And all the different there are fantastic. They're great promo items. Yeah. So, good job on that. That was very cool.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks.
We're going to put all that into the show notes. And Bart, thank you again so much for spending your time with us and sharing your wisdom and your heart-led business with us.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it, Tom, because we need more people getting out the message that business is in fact personal and that you should lead with the heart. I'll just leave with one last thing, which is anyone who likes this show would probably also the book Love Works by Joel Manby, which is a really good one on leading a business with love and leading with heart. And as soon as I met you and saw your podcast and everything, I thought that was an immediate similarity too. So thank you for pushing the message out there to people that we need to lead the business with the heart.
Absolutely. And thank you for saying that. And we'll put a link to that book as well into the show notes. So if people are interested, I put that into my Audible last time we spoke as well. So can't wait to really dive into it.
Good stuff.
Thanks for that.
Yep.
And thank you listeners for tuning in for today's episode. Really appreciate it. Make sure you're checking out everything that Bart's doing. We're going to put all that down into the show notes. So make sure you're checking that out. And while you're down there, there's probably a little button that says, give this show a rating and a review. If you could give us a rating and review, I'd really appreciate it. As long as it's not a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. Make it a 5-star. But if you have a complaint, call me directly. But give it a review. It really helps spread the word about the show and help more entrepreneurs know that they can be a heart-led business as well. And until next time, lead with your heart.
You've been listening to the Heart-Led Business Show, hosted by Tom Jacobs. Join us next time for another inspiring journey into the heart of business.